Yo, what is going on, guys? Here, my name is xBuzzerman, and today I got for you a Clash of Clans video. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be answering the age-old question of which is better, the Golem or the Giant. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to go through the analytical side of everything, which are your stats and how effectively the troop works. We're not just going to go off personal preference and kind of battle experience. We're going to go off pure stats and see which one would be the better troop for farming, for clan wars and trophy pushing, and then just in general. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the Golems. This is found through the Clash of Clans wiki. If you want to go ahead and check out the link in the description, that's where you can find all the information I'm getting it from. So the Golems are unlocked once Dark Barracks are upgraded to level 4. Dark Golems are extremely powerful tanking units that upon death split into two smaller Golemites that can continue to do damage. Both Golems and Golemites do splash damage, similar to balloons and lava hounds when destroyed. Golems target defenses first, like giants, hog riders, balloons, etc. are also similar, but initially target only specific type of defenses, such as air defenses. So they're defensive minded troops. Their offensive strategy, a good offensive strategy for them, is to release the Golems and wait until splash damage defenses like mortars and wizard towers fire upon them, and then release units like your archers and your barbarians. Since the Golems do small amounts of damage themselves, it's important that they are backed up by high dealing damage troops like wizards or witches. Golems aren't affected by spring traps. However, once they become two Golemites, the Golemites will be affected by spring traps if they encounter them. If possible, destroy the Infernal Tower on a set that is set on single target mode as quickly as possible. Otherwise, they will wipe out your Golems because they are really high damage type of defenses, and that's kind of their preferable target. So defensive strategy for them is Golems are similar to giants and lava hounds. They have very high health units, and they can be used to soak up fire, meet shields. Make sure that the Golem is in the middle of the range of most of your defenses, as Golems can distract attacking your troops and very effectively for a considerable amount of time. Even when overwhelmed, the Golem does a surprising amount of splash damage until enough to kill at tier 2, like the tier troops. I'm not going to explain that, but most troops, and any remaining attackers will have to deal with the two Golemites as well. So it's a really good defensive and offensive kind of troop. It's kind of like your ultimate meat shield. It goes ahead, and what makes it so well is it even goes into like little Golemites. So that's the background of on them. We're going to give you the background on the Giants, and then we'll go into the statistics of the two. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get on into the Giants. The Giant is the third troop unlocked in the barracks. The Giant's first target is defenses, so it's a defensive minded troop, making them an ideal troop to deploy to get rid of defenses fast. However, due to their low attack damage, they are better used in large groups. A good raiding strategy is to fill your army camp with giants and archers. Together they can easily wipe out a base. Use the giants to distract the defensive towers, while the archers take everything down, so you're going to want to use them as your meat shield. At the end of a raid, send in several giants closest to the mortar/wizard towers. As soon as the mortar hits the giants, send in the necessary amount of wall breakers to help the giants break through the walls. Once the mortars and wizard towers are destroyed, you can send in swarms of low hit power troops such as goblins and archers. Giants have a lot of health but are slow and have low attack power, so use them in groups. Giants are weak against many defenses grouped together. You can use giants as cheap meat shields by deploying other high damaging troops to destroy buildings, such as your wizards and your witches. Another strategy is to send in a lot of giants with healers, so the healers go ahead and heal the giants while they're able to go ahead and get into the base. In general, giants make better distracting troops than barbarians due to their high health, because they are less vulnerable to mortar fire and other splash damage, are much harder to kill. Giants ignore defensive troops, Clash of Clans, clan castle troops, barbarian king, archer queen. While defensive buildings can be targeted, be sure to eliminate defensive troops to protect giants. Defensive strategy. Giants can be especially susceptible to spring traps due to the predictability nature of the AI. So they're really easy to go ahead and spring trap, and they can actually be spring trapped while the Golems cannot. Use this to your advantage and place strategic gaps in your walls and defensive structures behind them to fill in the gaps one or more spring traps. Giants are reasonably good defensive clan castle troops, as their high health means that multiple offensive units will need to be dispatched to deal with them. So if you have them in your clan castle troop, they're pretty good. That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into the stats of both of them. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get into the stats of the Golem. Its preferred target are defenses, its attack type is ground, its housing space is going to be 30, its training time is going to be 45 minutes, its movement speed is going to be 12, attack speed is 2.4 seconds, Dark Barracks level required, so the Dark Barracks, the level required in order to unlock the troop is going to be level 4. Its range is 1 tile, so the range of its radius of attack is going to be 1 tile. The death damage radius is going to be 1.2 tiles, so when it dies and explodes, what's the radius of that and the damage it can do. So we're going to go ahead and get on into its real stats, or damage per second. We're going to show you level 1 and then its max level. So its damage per second is 38, its damage per attack is 91.2, damage upon when it dies or when it explodes is going to be 350 hit points. The hit points, so the amount of damage it can take in before it dies, is going to be 4,500. The training cost is going to be 450 dark elixir. So we're going to go ahead and get on to level 5, which is its max level. It's going to deal out about 54 damage per second. Damage per attack is going to be even better at 129.6. Its damage upon death is 550 hit points, so it's going to deal out 550, which is really good. The hit points are going to be 6,300. Its training cost is 750 dark elixir, and then there's other mumbo jumbo stuff you can read on the screen. Now the Golemites, which are the offspring of the Golem, we're going to go ahead and get into that. Its preferred target is defenses. Its attack type is ground. Movement speed is 12. Attack speed is 3 seconds. Range is 0.5 tiles, and death damage radius is 1.2 tiles. So it actually dies it explodes just like the Golem once it dies. Level 1 is going to be damage per second is going to be 7, damage per attack is going to be 21, damage upon death is going to be 70, and its hit points are 900. Now on the max level, which is level 5 Golemites, are going to be 11 damage per second, 33 damage per attack, damage upon death is going to be 110, and then the hit points is going to be 1260, so 1260, and that is basically all you need to know regarding the stats of the Golem. Let's go ahead and get on into the stats of the Giants. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and get on to the stats of the Giants. The preferred target of the Giants are defenses. Its attack type is ground only. Its housing space is 5, its training time is 2 minutes, its movement speed is 12, and its attack speed is 2 seconds. Barracks level required is 3, and range is 1 tile. We're going to go ahead and show you the level 1 stats, and then we're going to show you the max level, which is level 7. Level 1, damage per second is going to be 11, damage per attack is going to be 22, hit points is going to be 300, training cost is 250 elixir, and then the other mumbo jumbo. Level 7 is going to be 50 damage per second, 100 damage per attack, 1,100 hit points, 3,500 training costs, 3,500 elixir to train 1, and then its research cost is 7 million, which is a lot. Laboratory level required will be 8, and then research time it will be 14 days. That all that mumbo jumbo does not matter. So that's the stats of the Giants. Now we're going to go ahead and show you a comparison of the two. I'm just going to basically tell you which one's better for which situation, and this is basically it. So let's go ahead and get on to the comparison. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into a comparison between the two troops at their max levels. So a level 7 Giant and a level 5 Golem. They both have the same preferred target, which are defenses, the same attack type. The real big difference here is their housing space. The Golem has 30 housing space and the Giant has 5, so you can fit 6 Giants into one Golem. So for every one Golem you can have 6 Giants, so that's pretty crucial. The train time as well is very crucial, depending on what you're doing. If you're farming, I definitely think the Golem would be a stupid decision, just for the fact that it takes 45 minutes to train, while the Giant takes about 2 minutes to train. So that's a considerable difference right there. And then the movement speeds are both the same, while the attack speeds are pretty minute, but it's 2.4 seconds for the Golem, while it's 2 seconds for the Giant. And then the barracks level required is alright, and the range is both 1 tile. So that's pretty much the same. The death damage, that's another thing. We'll get on into that in a minute. Now, the damage per second, that's the thing right here. It's 54 for the Golem, and then it's 50 for the Giant. The damage per attack is 129.6 though for the Golem, and the damage per attack is 100 for the Giant. The hit points is the real big thing, because you're not really using these as an attack troop. They're going to be mostly a meat shield type of troop, and the hit points for a Giant is going to be 1,100, while the hit points for a Golem is going to be 6,300. Now, what I really liked about the Giant is this matchup was kind of outdated, because the level 6 Giant compares nothing to a level 5 Golem, just for the fact that 6,300 hit points versus a 940 hit points at level 6 for a Giant. But since they got that level 7 update, that 1,100 hit points kind of evens out the hit points column right there. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Well, if we factor in the housing spaces, we're going to do 6 Golems versus 6 Giants versus 1 Golem, you're going to have 6,600 hit points in total of Giants versus about 6,300 hit points, because the housing space right there. The only difference is when the Golems go ahead and die, they have Golemites, so they do actually in total have a lot more hit points. So it did kind of factor it out, but in total hit points, you're going to want to go with the Golems, just for the fact that they can die, and then they'll have even more hit points or more troops you got to kill after them. The training cost, it's 750 Dark Elixir for the Golems, and that's not cheap. It's definitely not a farming troop. While the training cost for the Giants is 3,500, which is pretty good. So, what's the total comparison? I gave you the stats of the two, and then I kind of compared them together. So we're doing basically 6 Giants versus 1 Golem, because those kind of even out each other. Your damage per second in total for the Giants is going to be a heck of a lot. They're going to be spread out all over the place. So each defense is going to have maybe their 1 giant per. They'll be focusing a lot. It'll be a very confused fight. While the Golem, they're just going to have basically 1 thing, 3 or 4 things attacking them. So in turn, I think they're both pretty even, to be honest. Even though in total the Golems have more hit points, if you can spread out 6 Giants per one, spread out 6 Giants, your defenses aren't going to all attack 1 Giant. They're going to attack all multiple Giants, while the defenses are going to be attacking 1 single Golem at a time. So you're going to have 4 or 5 defenses on 1 Golem, while you're going to have 4 or 5 defenses on 4 or 5 Giants. So that's pretty even regards to the meat shield part. But overall, I think I'd have to go with the Golems for high level attacks, and then the Giants for farming. I think you can use Giants though for high level attacks now, just for the fact that that level 7 update, I really do believe can make a big difference, and you can start replacing some of your Golem attacks with Giants attacks, in my opinion. I think they're almost becoming a better troop. They might not be 100%. I know that what makes the Golems so good is they can explode and then go ahead and get into 2 more separate troops, and that's good and all. But I just can't get over the fact that there's 6 Giants per 1 Golem. I'm going to edge it out to the Giants, the level 7 Giants. I think they're a little bit better of a troop personally. But that's just off of this level 7 update. I haven't experienced them too much yet. If it's still the go-to troop is going to be my Golems, but I definitely would suggest you guys to go ahead and try out this new level 7 Giant, and I think it actually can be used in high-level raids. I do think though that the Golem should be your go-to, because I mean it has like go wipes. It's essential in most high-level attack strategies, and that exploding factor and everything like that can edge it out in that way. So you guys make the decision on which one you guys like better. Put in the comment section below, or tweet at me at xBuzzerman what you want to see next. I do personally believe I'd like to hear your personal opinion, and please give me some reason behind it. So you could be like, I choose the Golem because of so and so, or I choose the Giants because of so and so. My final verdict would be Giants are a better farming troop, while the Golems are the better high-level troop. But I don't think it's very swayed anymore. I think it's a much closer decision between the two for high-level troops, high-level raids. So that's my kind of personal opinion on it. If you guys could give yours, please put in the comment section below. If you guys would like to see another battle between two troops, a more analytical battle like this, where I show you the stats and everything, please tweet at me at xBuzzerman. It should be up there right about now, and you guys should see it. Go ahead, tweet at that, put in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, come subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time, and later.